us in a standing with a recitation of the Lord's Prayer, followed by a moment of silence.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
It is now 7 o'clock. Shelby City Council meeting is called to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mr. Crum.
Mr. Robb. Mr. Roberts? Here. Mr. Gates? Here. Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Here. I'm now entertaining a motion to excuse Councilman Robb this evening.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Martin to excuse Councilman Robb. I believe if I remember from the email, he is at this point out of a family business this evening. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Yay.
Mr. Roberts? Yay. Mr. Gates?
Yay.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
The motion to excuse passes. We'll now entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the journal on November the 20th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. McLaughlin to dispense with the reading of the journal from November the 20th, 2023. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Yay.
Mr. Roberts? Yay. Mr. Gates?
Yay.
Mr. Martin?
Yay.
That motion passes. We'll now come to the time for public comment. If anyone has comment to make to council this evening, you're invited to come to the podium, state name, address, and make your comment to council. Hearing none, we'll move forward then to reports from standing and special committees. Community and Economic Development Committee, Councilman McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mayor. The Community Economic Development Committee, we met a few hours ago. I just have one item to brief the council. The Federal Transportation Administration's triennial review is every 3 years with RCT, the Richland County Transit. They started today, beginning the process. They had a 2-hour meeting today, so started the process. That's all I have today, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. And of course, that's in regard to the taxi. Is there any comments or questions for Mr. McLaughlin in regard to his report? Hearing none, move forward then to Public Works, General Operations Committee. Councilman Robb is not here. Councilman Roberts.
I do, Mayor, as Mr. McLaughlin, I only have one issue. We met on November 28th. The only point brought up was ordinance 10, 2023. I remembered some months ago that we referred this to the Public Works Committee, and Mr. Dean has worked on it with help from you guys and that. And so we talked about bringing it back at the next meeting, but since we have a similar ordinance that we're talking about right now, we're going to hold off. It'll be back. It'll come up sometime in the near future.
Thank you, Councilman Roberts. Are there any questions or comments for Councilman Roberts in regard to his report? Hearing none, we'll move forward then. The parking committee did not meet, but there is a lot of activity behind the scenes, and I believe they'll be meeting soon.
We're dangerously close to
Yeah, we are getting very close. Yes, sir. Fine-tuning language. Alrighty, reports of city officials, looking at the agenda this evening, and plus the fact we're going to have executive session at the end. I have no report, but we do have, under the mayor's report, a motion. So I'm entertaining someone to make that motion for requesting a liquor hearing.
Move to request a liquor hearing for 140 Mansfield Avenue LLC.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts to request a liquor hearing for 140 Mansfield Avenue LLC, 140 Mansfield Avenue. Discussion? Mr. Gates.
Mayor, this is a transfer from Laurel Shelby LLC to 140 Mansfield Avenue LLC. The location, of course, is the former Cornell's IGA. They're requesting transfer of a C1, C2, and D3 permits. I spoke with Chief Combs today. He gets more information than what we get at City Hall. So I asked him, who is 140 Mansfield Avenue LLC? And it's Mr. and Mrs. Dugan, who own the real estate there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. That's good information to have. Any further discussion? Mr. Mark?
Just for recording purposes, C1, C2, D6, not D3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're fine. I just wanted to clarify that for the recording in case someone's.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Nay.
Mr. Roberts.
Nay.
Mr. Gates. Nay. Mr. Martin.
Nay.
That motion fails. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments in regard to my no report? All righty. Move forward to Mr. Crum, Director of Finance.
Thank you, sir. Most of my office is year-end prep, making sure all my debits and credits are correct. As you can see from some of the transfers and such in the ordinances here in a little bit. I did see the income tax collections for November were just shy of 300,000 if I recall, which is about where they've been the last few years. I don't really expect us to make that $4 million mark of what we had anticipated appropriate, or I mean $5 million.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whoa, you sent up a $1 million loan. But we're close enough that we've kept our expenditures low enough. I don't think it's going to be an issue. That's really all I have right now.
Mr. Crum, any comments or questions for Mr. Crum regarding his report? Move forward. Mr. Iser is physically unable to be here with us this evening. Move forward to Mr. Geis, Project Coordinator.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, the OPWC district meeting did meet last Friday, and our Shelby Avenue project is approved. So we'll start some engineering on that. We can't award contracts until after July 1st, but we can put it out for bids and have it ready to go. So that's the way it's on the contractor's schedule, and as soon as July 1st comes, we'll get our contracts to the state, and then we can move forward with that. So good news there.
That's good news. Thank you. Are there any comments or questions for Mr. Geis? If not, we'll move forward to new business. Is there any new business to be brought before council this evening? Hearing none, we'll move forward to unfinished business, the future use of the Main Street Fire Station. At this time, the old fire station still has municipal usage, purpose. The fire department is now storing the boat, generator trailer, and especially rescue trailer in the old fire station for the foreseeable future. And that's just all on that. Is there any other unfinished business? We do have the Purple Heart Trail, Mr. McLaughlin.
Yes, sir. So the information Mr. Gates gave me a couple of weeks ago, on the back there was a contact of the national coordinator, so I left a message with him. Haven't talked to him yet, but then I got also in touch with one of the local chapters in Ohio, Mr. Morris, and talked to him on the phone, and he's going to get us the contact to the Ohio Secretary of State's office that deals specifically with that issue. So, proceeding in that direction.
Very
Look
good.
into this.
Looking forward to more progress in that, thank you. Is there any other unfinished business to be brought before council this evening? Fine. If not, move forward to an ambitious legislative schedule. Mr. Crum.
Ordinance number 27, 2023, repealing chapter 1,484 satellite dish antennas of the codified ordinances of the city of Shelby.
Move for second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Gates for the second reading of ordinance number 27, 2023. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 27, 2023 passes its second reading.
Ordinance number 28, 2023, amending section 236.04, contracts, materials, and labor of chapter 236, Director of Public Safety of the codified ordinances of the city of Shelby.
Move for second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin for the second reading of ordinance number 28, 2023. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 28, 2023 passes its second reading.
Ordinance number 29, 2023, amending section 242.01, contracts, materials, and labor of chapter 242, Director of Public Service of the codified ordinances of the city of Shelby.
Move for second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts for the second reading of ordinance number 29, 2023. Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 29, 2023 passes its second reading.
Ordinance number 30, 2023, enacting section 234.13, forms of payment of chapter 234, Director of Finance and Public Record of the codified ordinances of the city of Shelby.
Move for second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin for the second reading of ordinance number 30, 2023. Discussion. Mr. Gates.
Mayor, 2 weeks ago at first reading, my colleague to my right raised some very legitimate concerns. What this ordinance would do is, it's drafted, would empower the Director of Finance to decide what forms of payment are acceptable to the city. We have every confidence that the current Finance Director would use that decision-making power correctly. But what happens in the future if someone, his successor, would go rogue? And so, having thought about those comments, I remembered that we have an ordinance on the books that names the finance director as the insurance administrator for the city. And in that ordinance, there is a line that says, subject to the oversight of council. So, thinking about Mr. Martin's concerns, and I think that is, adding such language to this ordinance would, dare I say, rein in someone from going rogue. So, with that background, Mayor, I wish to propose an amendment. If we look in in section 1, which ends with the word treasurer, between the word treasurer and the period, I wish to insert comma, subject to the oversight of council. So that last line then would read, and public record in his/her capacity as ex officio city treasurer, comma, subject to the oversight of council, period.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts to amend under section 1, the paragraph 234.13, after the word treasurer, inserting the phrase subject to the oversight of council, and then the period. So that's how we're reading. So, discussion. Mr. Martin.
I first want to thank Councilman Gates for bring this amendment, and I feel it does satisfactorily address my concerns fully.
Very good. Further discussion? Roll call on the amendment.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Motion to amend passes. Back to the main motion. Any further discussion?
Mayor, I have this written down. I will pass this on to the clerk that he can share that with the law director as necessary.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 30, 2023 passes as amended.
Ordinance number 31, 2023, amending section 1490.10, general exterior maintenance requirements, and section 1490.14, yard area maintenance of chapter 1490, exterior property maintenance of the codified ordinances of the city of Shelby.
Move for second reading.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Martin for the second reading of ordinance number 31, 2023. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 31, 2023 passes its second reading.
Ordinance number 32, 2023, transferring appropriations for the year 2023 and declaring an emergency.
I move that the rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions be suspended.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin that the rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions be suspended. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
The motion to suspend passes.
I move the ordinance be taken up and passed.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Quick Draw McGraw Roberts for the passage of ordinance number 32, 2023.
Mary, for those who are not as old as you and I, you may need to explain that quick draw McGraw.
After the meeting.
Please call City.
Discussion. Mr. Crum.
This is just general housekeeping as we near the end of the year. A few lines are a little close, a few lines have some extra, so I'm just moving things around to make it all work so we don't have to have a special council meeting in Christmas.
Very good, thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Ordinance number 32, 2023 passes.
Ordinance number 33, 2023, amending ordinance number 9, 2023, annual appropriations and declaring an emergency.
I move that the rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions be suspended.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin that suspending the rules requiring 3 separate occasions of readings of that discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Motion to suspend passes.
I move the ordinance be taken up and passed.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts for the passage of ordinance number 33, 2023. Discussion. Mr. Crum.
This one, while not so much us balancing things for year end, this is more clearing up things for some of our grants and such. The Black Fork Park line is really expenses that the CIC has paid, but we're just going to get them on our books, so we'll have a revenue and expenditure item for the same amount. The other two deal with some grants that we're applying for some various projects, and so if they pass, we will have the increased revenue, but we need the expenditure line to offset that. So that's what those are.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Ordinance number 33, 2023 passes.
Ordinance number 34, 2023, creating temporary appropriations for the year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
I move that the rule requiring that an ordinance be read on 3 separate occasions be suspended.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin on the suspension of the rules for 3 separate occasions. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin. Yay. Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
That motion passes.
I move the ordinance be taken and passed.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts for the passage of ordinance number 34, 2023. Discussion? Mr. Gates?
Mayor, I believe the finance director has a recommendation for us on this.
Thank you, I do, sir. Well, first of all, this is just your general get us through until appropriations line item. So we just put enough expenditures here to get us through our operating expenses for the first few months until we get our full appropriations finished. The recommendation I have is under the special funds. I think the fourth one is the Fire Operations Fund, number 215. That is a fund that we're adding for the income tax collections and the related expenditures there. And I'm going to give full props to Councilman Gates. He and I had a discussion about this, and his suggestion was to label that as an income tax fund. That way, down the road, it's clear to everyone that that's what this fund is, and then it's easier to track for the taxpayers what expenditures went from their income tax fund. So I would recommend that we change that from just Fire Operations Fund to perhaps Fire Operations Income Tax Fund, or just Fire Income Tax Fund, whatever you would prefer.
Mr. Gates?
Mayor, I move that the title Fire Operations Fund be amended to read Fire Income Tax Fund.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Martin that under special funds, the line now reads Fire Operations Fund, be amended to read Fire Income Tax Fund. Discussion? Mr. Gates?
When you look at, Mayor, when you look at the ballot language, we made it very broad, and so that the proceeds of the income tax could be used for operations, they could be used for equipment, and be used for the building. So, Fire Operations Fund is very narrow, but the voters approved something very broad. And, you know, with the name Fire Income Tax Fund, it's very clear what that fund is.
Very good, and thank you for that. Any further discussion? Voting on amending the language under special funds. Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin. Yay. Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
That motion to amend passes. Back to the main motion. Any further discussion? Mr. Gates?
Mayor, a year ago, when we looked at the temporary appropriations for this year, we front-loaded the monies for this year's paving project so that Mr. Geis could get busy with that. We could bid it earlier than waiting till after April. So my question is, does this legislation before us include those funds for the 2024 paving project?
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Sir. Any further discussion? Mr. Martin?
Does it include the funds for police cruisers?
Yes, it also includes that.
Yes, it does. Thank you. Mr. Martin?
What line item would that be under? I'm sorry.
That's right. It's under the 300 line item, which is on the second, capital improvements, second page there. third line down, we have $200,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Amendment orders number 34, 2023 passes, or passes as amended.
Resolution number 52, 2023, declaring the amount of taxes that may be raised by levy at the maximum rate authorized by law without a vote of the electors to be insufficient, and declaring the necessity of a levy in excess of such rate for the general operation of the Shelby City Health Department in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Sections 5705.19, 5705.191, and 5705.26, and declaring an emergency.
Move the resolution be taken on to pass.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Martin, a second by Mr. McLaughlin for the passage of resolution number 52, 2023. Discussion? Mr. Gates.
Mayor, this, next year, the primary is going to be early. It's a presidential year. It's March 19th, I believe it is. If it weren't early, I won't be here. The council could wait until after the first of the year to do this. But the filing deadline for candidates and for issues for this early primary is December 20th. So, and since we have to pass two pieces of legislation, this one asks the county auditors, tell us what this money will bring in. Once we get the report from him, then council, and I imagine it'll be at the next council meeting, will consider legislation to actually place it on the ballot. So going to the ballot is for taxes is a two-step process. This is the first step.
Thank you. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Okay.
Resolution number 52, 2023 passes.
Resolution number 53, 2023, declaring the amount of taxes that may be raised by levy at the maximum rate authorized by law without a vote of the electors to be insufficient, and declaring the necessity of a levy in excess of such rate for the general operation of the Shelby Board of Park Commissioners in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 5705.19, 5705.191, 5705.26, and declaring an emergency.
Move the resolution be taken on to pass.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Martin, a second by Mr. McLaughlin for the passage of resolution number 53, 2023. Discussion? Vote. Vote, Mr. Gates.
Ditto.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Resolution number 53, 2023 passes.
Resolution number 54, 2023, authorizing the mayor as director of public safety to enter into an agreement with the Richland County Commissioners for the payment of legal counsel fees for indigents and declaring an emergency.
Move the resolution taken up and passed.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Martin for the passage of resolution number 54, 2023. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Resolution number 54, 2023 passes.
Resolution number 55, 2023, authorizing the mayor as director of public service of the city of Shelby to apply for the Ohio Department of Development Water and Wastewater Infrastructure Grant and declaring an emergency.
Move the resolution be taken on to pass.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Martin and a second by Mr. Roberts for the passage of resolution number 55, 2023. Discussion? Mr. Gates.
Mayor, I'm looking at the attachment to it. It's page 3 of 7. Second line, this situation creates should that be stagnant? Is STAGNANT?
Which line is that, please?
In that paragraph,
Yes.
the second line from the bottom.
Oh, okay, hold on a second, okay. Yeah, I believe that would be, yeah, stagnant, thank you.
I trust it will be corrected.
Yes, please. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Okay?
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Resolution number 55, 2023 passes.
Resolution number 56, 2023, approving the plans and specifications and authorizing the mayor as Director of Public Service to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the Seneca and Wyandotte Drive sanitary sewer replacement project within the city of Shelby, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Taking it back.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Roberts and a second by Mr. Martin for the passage of resolution number 56, 2023. Discussion. Mr. Gates.
This is a sanitary sewer line that has been causing our crews quite a bit of troubles over the years. It runs underneath the National Railway here at the end of Seneca Drive and continues on towards town that way. So what this project will do is stop this line, we'll rebuild it, redirect it back towards Wyandotte, and then run it down the road here and tie it into the sewer there. The line going underneath the tracks will be filled with a slurry concrete or so forth, back to this manhole here. I understand Mr. Martin brought up during utilities meeting about what about this line here. Decided our crews could go in, plug this off here at this manhole, at a lot less money than would be to fill this whole line, and we accomplish the same thing. So. But this would get rid of a big problem underneath the railway there.
Thank you. Mr. Martin?
And there was a possibility we may need that additional lineage down the road for stuff south, so we could reopen it without having to close down the whole thing. So, and, you know, rebuild it or whatever.
Good. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts.
Yay.
Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
Resolution number 56, 2023 passes. Now come to miscellaneous business, and miscellaneous business is brought before council this evening. Mr. Gates.
Mayor, my calendar tells me that is Thursday, the 7th, is the first day of Hanukkah. That's the reason for the gelt that I shared. It's a custom in Jewish households that the kids spin the dreidel, a top, and they use gelt, chocolate-filled chocolate coins, and play the game. So, you know, as far as this person's concerned, any reason to eat chocolate is a good reason. But you know, that's a joke. But you know, Hanukkah is a very special holiday among the Jewish people. It celebrates the temple that had been desecrated, and going in to light the holy lights, and there was little or none, but through a miracle there was enough oil to keep the lights lit. And so that's why Hanukkah is also known as the Festival of Lights.
Thank you. Very good.
Mayor, I move the council excuse me, go into executive session for the following purposes. To consider the purchase of property for public purposes, or for the sale of property at competitive bidding, if premature disclosure of the sale would give an unfair competitive or bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public interest, and also preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gates and a second by Mr. Roberts to go into executive session for the purposes so read. Discussion? Mr. Gates.
Mayor, should this motion pass, I would ask that you, the Finance Director, Mr. Ensman, and Attorney Elgin accompany council into executive session for the first purpose, and that you, the Finance Director, and I anticipate Chief Combs will be here to accompany council for the second reason.
Very good. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. McLaughlin.
Yay.
Mr. Roberts. Mr. Gates.
Yay.
Mr. Martin.
Yay.
That motion passes. Council goes into executive session at 7:34.